Hello, welcome to another Andy Drinks Beer, the show where Andy drinks beer in his garage while not wearing pants. Am I or am I not? We'll never know. Today we continue on with our gluten-free series. We have Glutenberg's Red Ale. Now, also they call this a rosé, but I'm not really following along there. And we're doing the gluten-free series because not so much for the gluten-free lifestyle, but also some of these beers are just really fantastic tasting, and everyone's looking for great taste but less filling. It's been a promise that's been told to us through a number of decades now. But if you can actually get a very good full-flavored beer, craft beer, and it's got a little bit off that back end where you're not going to be so piled up towards the end of the night and the next morning, why not? Absolutely, why not? So let's crack this thing open. They're from Canada. They're from Canada. Set up in Montreal. Their red was the World Beer Cup's gluten-free beer of the year in 2012. So they got that going for them. And this is from their website. Oh, it's a 5% ABV and a 24 IBU. So relatively low alcohol, but also it's going to have some flavor in there. It's going to have some nuts. It's going to be. You're going to know that you're drinking a red ale. Because so right away, just looking at the colors, you got a nice dark red, light brown color. You're getting a lot of coffeeness in the aroma. A nice little head on it too, because I remember pouring my first beer. Yeah, and also it's from their website. Proudly echoing British brown ales, the Glutenberg Red stands out by the great complexity of its creation and taste. Brewed using two types of chestnuts, each requiring a specific roasting method. Chestnuts roasting on an open beer. This unctuous beer with a roasted nut fragrance reveals unique flavors of caramel and coffee. Holder of the title of the brewery's most decorated beer, the Red triumphs with good reason. So yeah, this just smells like Christmas. You got the chestnuts, you got the full bodiness, you got the caramel and the coffeeness going on. It's great. So the first sip, it tastes like a slightly more complex Newcastle. You know. Also, if you just slid this in front of me, I would have no idea this is a gluten-free beer. I mean, this is, you get the full flavor, and it's delicious, and there's a lot of complexity to it, but I don't know, I guess if I think about it, you get the sip, and you know, if you crack open a craft beer, a heavier like an ale or an IPA or a stout, and you get one sip in, and you're like, oh, man, this is going to be a slog. You don't get that here. You don't. So our first criteria, is this crushable or a sipper? I'm going to go crushable. Even with the tall boys here, I could see myself sitting back with three of these and, you know, just watching a game. Oh, have some, you know, nice little basket of peanuts in front of you. Absolutely. Or popcorn. So very smooth. You get the nuttiness. It is really good. And red ale is a bit of my repertoire that I'm not really going in too much, but every time you have one, it's like, oh, I should be doing this more. Yeah. Our second criteria, what food would pair well with this? Well, I mean, since it's Canadian, you'd have to go poutine. Even though poutine is not gluten-free, but like we said, you don't have to be completely gluten-free. You don't have to go full celiac on the bit, but if you just want a beer that's you know, going to be a little bit less filling, and then you got more room for the French fries, the gravy, the cheese curds, the whatever else they put on poutine. Yeah, yeah. Who knew that? All right, so the most hated person in the world, Vladimir Putin, but the most delightful Canadian food in the world, poutine. Who really knew? Compared to a movie or TV show, man, probably gonna have to go Canadian Bacon. Yeah, Canadian Bacon with John Candy, very underrated movie. Also, I think it's Michael Moore's finest work because, yeah, the rest of his stuff, I don't know, man. But basically, they're setting up. The government is setting up a false flag operation, making people think that Canada is going to invade the United States, and it's just a really fun, just hilarious movie. I enjoy it very much. Probably enjoy 3 or 4 of these while watching it as well. Now, what does this remind me of? What memories does this take me back to? Probably my first beer that I didn't steal. From the dad. And you open up the fridge. He's got the special X in the Bush Lights and stuff. It was like, no. So the first beer that I actually had someone buy for me, Killian's Irish Red, because I had no idea what good beer was, and then Killian's Irish Red, the top of the morning to you. It's got to be good because it's Irish, yeah. And yeah, I just remember we got a 12 pack of that and split it up amongst me and like 2 or 3 of my friends, and yeah, that was my first introduction to beer, and it was so good. It was so good, and I still enjoy a red to this day, even though like I said, it's not really something that you think about. You're going through the liquor store. It's like, oh, what new IPA is there? Oh, what mass produced domestic can we get for easy drinking on the weekend? And then the red. I'm gonna give me a couple of these because this weekend we're actually going tubing, good old Petertown for a friend's birthday, Peterson, Minnesota, the Root River, and grab a couple of these. I'm gonna sneak them in. I'm gonna make people drink them and be like, "Yeah, this is gluten free, bitch." Yeah, you had no idea. And our rating system on a scale of 1 to 10, Reuben Stuttards, 10 being the best, 1 being Reuben Studdard. How does Glutenberg's Red Ale stack up? I'm going 10. I'm going straight up 10 because the flavor with the nuttiness and the coffee and it's so good. And putting down this entire pounder, you don't feel the heaviness. Like you don't feel even if you don't have a gluten sensitivity like me, I don't have a gluten sensitivity, that's what I'm trying to say, but even if you're normal, I mean, it just sits better. I mean, that's my big takeaway from all these gluten-free beers, that sometimes it just sits better. So mash that subscribe button, give us a like on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all at Andy Carlson Show. Prost.